Welcome, guys. Wednesday, mid of the week. I kind of expected we're gonna have some volatile week coming in with some of the numbers, but apparently sideways dead price action. It's been quite quite quiet for trading on Bitcoin overall. So far, there are two levels mainly to be broken or failed from. That's the that's the 87.9 level. Break that or regain that stuff. That's the previous high that we settled on the lower time frame. Every single thing to the left of that's been already tested, so you're gonna wipe it out and gonna get back into the 89 quite quick. Oh shit, I moved it. After that, if you start to get back to the lows, you really need to hold on the 86.8. If you're gonna fail that, then the lows we're gonna dump a little bit lower because there is quite a lot of stuff below us. Overall, there are some bigger bits like 101 only K is the outlier. The 2K really rarely you're not gonna see it anymore. Used to be somewhere over here. They start to push the price around, but eventually they stop. The 1K it stays, and that one is still holding up. To the downside, they're quite heavier loaded. So wait and watch what we're gonna see. We still hold on barely on the point of control of the volume area on 1 hour. On 4 hour, that's it. Don't remember where it was. Well below us. Yeah, still okay. So that's the one was 87. Yeah, that's as well the 87 on 4 hours. So yeah, so we barely holding on that one. We've been quite heavily going below and closing quite heavily with the wicks quite big as well to the downside. So if we start to move lower, there is not much stuff that's gonna hold us. Still, we're gonna meet around 82.4-ish area on the support. So far, sideways is still. Yeah, underside retesting the hip that we settled on 88.7. Not much change from that one. We still didn't even come close to 92. So far, yes, we could, but overall, it's sideways. Still otherwise, right? So that's one. Just a quick glance on long and short. We've been on 66 ish percent ish area right now. We are aiming to go a little bit more higher up. Apparently, we start to long again on retail. So 70% is or maybe 71 even almost. Let's see if that's gonna continue. We might have another drop. We're gonna do something exact the same as this price action over here, with technically the same long and short. So watch out for it. Things what I've been mentioning. The next on the daily wise, the next hip that you gonna aim for the resistance is still the 92.1. That's the first reversal handle that you had from the bigger dump, right? So be aware. That's definitely gonna bring you a little bit lower first. If you're gonna start to break something, let's see. So moving on, I'm just gonna point out some things that I've been mentioning on Sunday as well. The stream's not going to be that long. I don't think there's much to say with that kind of dead price action. I will go over some alts as well. I'm potentially interested into it. So overall, picks. We came from 28.2 way down to 17. I've been mentioning that we need to go below the 19 and technically as well below the 16. That's the next level. That's the next step to fail from. If you get into that, we will quite heavily start to turn around on the market. That's great. That's what you need. But there is as well a but to it. We still technically are in the whole up movement. Still, we're not going to break that 16 level. Be aware of that. If this start to turn around again and aim for the highs, then yeah, you're going to have another leg down. Obviously, the volatility is going to come in. Oh, and by the way, be aware, tomorrow it's going to be as well a half a day of the market because America tend to be thankful for some things or some kind of shit. I don't know. So by that, we're going to have a little bit longer weekend. That means as well, we might have as well bigger EME gap if the price start to tend to go up or down in the weekend quite heavily. We don't know. But be aware of that. Seems the MDX website. I am seeing the website. I switched to TradingView. Okay. Wait. Which right? Now you can see. Discord was fucking weird with the streaming. Anyhow. Oh yeah. Like I've been mentioning, just repeat for the Discord. There was some issue with the screen. We came back from 28. We went down to 19. We broke that stuff. That's the level that I was aiming to break. Technically as well the 20, but I didn't care about that much about it. Now we aim for the 16. This is as well, like I've been mentioning, up movement area. So technically we are still in this whole position. We could do another leg up. If that's going to happen, that's going to be done. One more lower on the market. Still possible. Nothing said we couldn't do that. So far, this is the box to have in mind, like point of interesting. This is the area that you seriously need to break and get back below the 16 and stay there. If it's gonna stay there, gonna be sideways, or we're gonna do something like this over here, below the 16 or around that 16 area, that's all great, and the market will recover quite quick. So far, even if this freaking bullshit trend line been broken, not really concerned about that, just there for the information wise. Next, Dixie. Technically, and this is a little bit on the, let's say, depends what you like to know, worry or not side. We did regain the 4-hour close quite heavy, twice even in a row. And even on the wick, we settled a higher wick. So we are still uptrending area on this. Only when that's going to change when we start to break 99.2. We are aiming to get there. There is not much certainty that we will start to break that. What will happen if we start to close anything above the, oh, sorry, that's the daily even. Oh, I forgot I'm on daily. So even heavier. That's the daily highest close with the daily higher wick. So be aware of that. On the daily, you cannot close anything below 99. For the dump on Dixie, we could, but technically we're still in the uptrend, right? So far, coming back in that area of $100, what you're gonna do, it's quite easily we're gonna send it to 101. Why? Because the rest of it to the side has been all tested. There is not much to hold us. Maybe we're gonna have on 100.9 from pit stop, but not really concerning about that. I'm aiming for the high of 101.7. That's the high that you're gonna get back in when we start to flip the 102. Still in uptrend movement, right? Overall, this is the area that we've been quite known for of doing the bear market stuff, right? So be aware of that. If you are not sure how the Dixie works, then go back on the time frame and see how it behaves and correlate that for the bear market and the bull market, right? So far, if we start to break the $100 area, because that's the whole RSI flip as well, you need to remember that this is still holding us quite lower, and we did the run bottoming on all of the price action to the left. Right now, we're aiming to break out from it. Doing that, it's going to send us where? Technically over here. That's the first bigger pit stop, right? This is the resistance we're going to aim for to get something like this. And then you're going to get back into the underside retest of that and something like this. And then that's the whole send. So Dixie going higher, that's no go for the market. We all know that, I guess. Be aware, just keep that in mind that it might break out from it. That's on the daily. Overall, whole market, total tree, doing exact the same thing what we've been doing the whole movement to the downside. We get back at the resistance area. The first one, that's the 892. That's the area that we are is holding right now. Us regaining that flip, we're gonna get back at 910. That's the first high that you need to flip, or even thinking to go higher up on the whole market. If not, then that's gonna be the same continuation that we've been doing. And then of course we might squeeze it, and then we're gonna pop it. Maybe. Holding on this area, the lowest area that you really want to be right now, but still fine if we start to go and do some damage to the upside. This is your support right now. Losing anything from that, technically it's been already tested. quite heavily to the downside. Not really keen on really big holds on it so far. Yes, we had a reaction. Same thing, we had it over here. But the third time, that might be the charm to go even lower. Just be aware of that one, right? We still didn't break anything to go higher, and we are right now at the resistance. So just FYI. And of course, you're gonna have the longer weekend right now because of the Thanksgiving and all that BS. So yeah, it's a quiet one. Next one, PEX is quite nicely doing the whole move as well, the whole range move still. So we didn't come close lower than 3.9. That's still fine. All right, let's see if we're gonna flip and regain 4.1. If you do that, this 4.2 not gonna even hold you. You're gonna start to get a little bit more higher up. That's still possible, right? For it, if we're gonna start to flip all of that, that's really good to get in back on the higher resistance, right? And we might do something like that. That's all possible, right? So far, we still ranging between this quite big for range, 4K, something like that. Not even 4K, 400, yeah, 3.5 ish. So yeah, quite good range. Nice to trade from. I took a small short on that one, not really keen on something like that. And one of my longs got stopped out. And I think I didn't check on the bot yet, but I think that's still a little bit more running out. But yeah. So far, I'm really a bit more quiet with the positions that I'm taking. I'm still good positions from the highs and the lows from it. So not really bothering with anything else right now. And just mentioning, the Netflix is still aiming to go a little bit more lower. That's all good. I'm still thinking we're gonna get around the $100 area. Let's see how that's gonna be playing out. But yeah, that's the target. And as I'm mentioning, be aware from tomorrow. It's gonna be a half day. I'm not sure what time it's gonna be market close. Today, just pay attention to that one. That's CME gap's gonna be quite extended for a half a day as well through the weekend. Just be aware how that's gonna play out. Technically, the best scenario, what you want to do is to create a CME gap below, right? And then attempt to do something like that, coming back, fill it up, and then you do something like that. This is the best scenario for the market to do if you play the CME. I'm not really keen on that one. I'm not really like trading from CME gaps, but I know that people are doing. You don't want a CME gap to be above, right? To do something like that. You don't want that. That's gonna be a bit more damaging to the downside. Anyhow, overall, moving on the dominance, we still kind of aiming to go lower. I'm technically was surprising that we are close to 58 right now, but it's good. What we know, dominance going lower, right? One of those three things can happen. We technically had a little bit of increase of Bitcoin. Alts did move if-ish a little bit. Like it wasn't like that heavily on some of the alts, but yes, I saw some numbers coming in. Still didn't break anything major on stuff, but yeah, we technically had that, right? Yeah, where we're not gonna get this, right? Or one of those things right now if the dominance start to increase, because that's still possible. We've been breaking stuff to the downside quite heavily on the daily. Right now, we're getting into the lowest kind of support that you, if you want to think about that as that, that's the lowest support that you really need to hold or break to even go quite lower, right? But then we might have that escalation of the alts and whatever. But so far, be aware as well. This is the couple days before December open. That's as well is on the 1st of the December. That's on the Monday. That means it's going to be Monday, weekly, and the December level at one go. So that one's going to be quite strong as well. If we're going to come back for it in the future. And let's see how it's going to be reacting. If that's going to be the positioning for even going through any highs or through the December, could be, right? It's still possible. Most of the times December been quite quiet because a lot of people taking a lot of profit to December stuff. But then beginning of the new year, they are coming back quite heavily, and they send it most through January 1st or whatever for the first week. Like same what we had this year, right? We could have that as well right now. But make sure you check the market, how that behaves, and how you see the alts getting ready, or maybe even going lower, whatever. Because as well, like, you need to understand, I think there's a lot of dividend playing out, and there is a lot of companies that paying out end of the year and moving money around. So there is a lot of going on in there. So it's quite quiet and maybe a little bit more dead position on the market, but there is still a lot of going on behind the doors. Right. So yeah, well, that's the time to spend with the family, not on the market. Yes. Overall, we are still doing this freaking sideways, a little bit more up grinding stuff that I not really like, because most of the times it's end up with a flush. If so, yeah, that might be the aim, to get back an 80 or maybe even a little bit lower. It depends how deep we're gonna get back into that. Most of the oscillators are quite heavily overheated already, so the higher time frame is still middling. The 12-hour, that's going to be interesting because it's already going back into the neutral line, same as we had that dump over here. So be aware of that one as well. Daily is still a little bit lower, but yeah, that's still grinding position up. I not really like that that much, but it is what it is. We've been flip-flopping a little bit from the bulls and the bears, from the point of stand of selling or buying it up. A little bit more into the area of point of control of the volume over here. Let's see how we're gonna behave like tomorrow or maybe end of the week. Um, Capital flow index. That's as well quite interesting one to look out for it. We are quite heavily getting into the 60 and 50% of that one. Be aware, every single time from the dump we got into that 60 area, it was short-lived already 5 times. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the 5th time. So be aware, we might do exact the same thing again if you're not gonna hold on the position higher, because most of the times we've been quite lower and heavily to the downside, right? So this is still could be a continuation. And there is as well the idea that I kind of like in my head, that we need that flush, make retail short the shit out of it, and that's gonna be the long and short flip. Right, we didn't have that yet. This has been way too easy on the market, and they are still 70% in the long. So like, there's no brainer. Like, this is not gonna be a free ride, definitely not. So, or we might. That's gonna be on different part. I'm gonna show you that. Okay, moving on, so I can go to the bitty one. This is as well interesting. Be aware, the same what I was mentioning with VIX. We got quite heavily to the downside. The market didn't even flinch. Right? Yes, the VIX got lower. That's good. But market-wise, we are still on exact the same position that we used to be, not even like a week ago. A little bit higher, but that's just a little bit. Nothing major yet. So this as well, I have a feeling we might do another freaking pump up on VIX and Dixie, and then we're gonna do the bigger dump, and then the market's gonna be rising in. So that's gonna be the moment when retail is gonna short in all of the market. We do the long and short flip, and then the market start to move. That might be the case. That might be somewhere in the end of December or whatever. Let's see. But so far, this is what I'm kind of thinking. I have a feeling we're gonna do that as well. And especially what I've been mentioning as well from weeks already, how I'm looking at the capital flow index. I wish we had switched off all of the assets to the bottom, but it is what it is. Right? So if you zoom out on this, like, how does it look like? We are technically grinding all of this, breaking it, and then do it again. Right? Breaking it, says we can do it another one. Right? So by looking at technically on those lines as a chart as well, it behaves quite similar, right? And that's not on VIX, but that's as well on different apps. Same thing. Like what is the Dixie do? Okay. So this is you low, this is you high. Where are we? Still middling. We break the low. Oh, we break the low over here. Oh, we break the high over here. Yes. Right. So this still could possibly do something like that before we're gonna do the bottom of it, or even go a little bit more higher up. Right. On. So yeah, overall, this still is a continuation till we're not gonna break any high of it or regain some stuff, right? So, and like you can see as well, I set up some portfolio just for fucking sake. This is not that I'm all of that I'm trading. Most of it is interesting, but this is still downtrending. That didn't even move while big stomped, right? So I'm found it quite weight or heavy that we might even go up from here right now. We're not gonna do the big flush, or I don't know, we're not gonna do some scary things or some shit. Like, it's gonna be way too easy, right? I don't think market's gonna give us an easy way to get into the position, and by that means I'm looking something not really exact the same thing. See, damn it. So look at this price action over here. Same, technically same thing, right? We've been grinding, failing, grinding, and then the whole grind up over here, right? Failed that. That was some fucking shenanigans over here, and then failed again, set a new low, high up, and didn't even come close to the lows, right? Make everyone short the shit out of it here. That regain the highs over here, higher up, trade up, send it, right? Not even coming back. That's the stuff that's gonna flip the whole RSI, right? And that was as well RSI, long and short. If you look back, where is it? Are we here? Look what happened over here on that dump, right? The first low what you settled, we've been quite high as well. We've been 68, 70-ish%. We start to grind into that. Over that high, we had the flip back. So that was like fake out shit, you can call that. And now we set another low, and that was a proper flip of the long short, right? Everyone was shorting the shit out of it, and it sent us to the new all-time high, right? I'm not saying we're going to do exactly the same thing, but something maybe similar. I would like to see it over here. Right? So far, still, we didn't even reach 92. That's been already like, what, 6 days? 5 days, 6 days, whatever. It's been over a week. Come on, do something. Overall, as I've been mentioning, the two levels, the green and red line, that's the range that you are right now in. Flip one or another, that's going to be a continuation. We've been quite heavily going close to the lows, barely closing below that. And now we are aiming again for the high. Let's see if that's going to be make it or break it. Right? That's the level that you need to care right now. The rest to the left, it's been tested. I'm not even 88.3, not even going to hold you. Just going to slide through it, and you're going to find yourself at the resistance of this area over here. Right? This is the resistance that you're going to aim right now for. That's the first resistance you're going to get into it, by the way, from the whole dump. So if you're going to close anything above the 87.9, that's the area. Coming back again to the lows, then that's a level to aim for. If you're going to fail on that or regain, whatever you want to call it, flip the chart and you're going to see exactly the same thing. All of those wicks to the left, that's been all tested. Nothing to hold you anymore. And you're going to slide where? Technically into the area of 82.3. And even that's been tested. So not much to hold, only liquidity over there. That might push you back up. So far, the 4 hour, it's going to be interesting to close. Right now, we are pushing through. So let's see how that's going to be playing out. And if remember as well, if you get close into this area as well, the possibility that you're gonna have another reversal cash flow, it's quite big as well. So yeah. That's a little bit locally. I mean, overall, that's the aim for the regain. 93, yeah, exactly 93K. That's your flip of the 4 hour. Regaining that stuff, that's the first step in the direction to go higher. So yeah, that's one. And then if you're gonna come close lower, if you're gonna do that big ass wick or scary shit or whatever, what I'm talking about, might be, and I'm aiming something about 78-ish area, 76 area to hold. Maybe depends how deep they gonna track it, but this is the area that I'm still all aiming for. That's didn't been tested, and this is still the highest time frame, right? And as well, we still have 5 days, I guess, right? 5 days. Yeah, the fifth day it's gonna be monthly open. Overall, this is quite nice, big ass monthly candle, right? You cannot deny that. 30% of a candle on monthly, pretty nice. Closing and opening anything over here, not much gonna change. The whole perspective of like, yeah, we holding on only on this area, but we could fill up this and then have a continuation into this structure. All possible. Same thing what we've been doing over here. So yeah, that's a little bit more on the high time frame. It's going to be open up in next couple days. And our as well, we had the cross for the reversal on that one. Quite overheated. We are way over divergence. That can play out for quite ages as well. But overall, that's been a while that we come back to the 82 area, right? It's been from beginning almost of 2025 right now on the end. This is the whole 1 year price action, by the way, what we did. So we are coming back into the beginning phase, right? Losing anything right now over here, try to get in here. That's the second last support before you're gonna aim for the bear market stuff. So yeah, weekly wise, nice 4 bearish candles to the downside, and that's still right. You need to technically go a little bit more above the 94.2, closing anything one candle above that previous one. That could be potentially a bullish positioning for go higher up, right? Not really a structure or something wise. It's just a candle close above the previous one is already enough to go a little bit more higher, right? And then again, the resistance area, it's on the side retest of 108. Still sits there. That's the aim on the high time frame. Daily, almost same thing as 4 hour, but that one is a little bit more higher up. The overall daily time frame is 93 as well. Regain and flip that. It's been already tested, so that shouldn't be the area, but then we have another on the side retest of the 94.5. So a lot of things going on above us, right? A lot of resistance, a lot of volume, a lot of freaking liquidity as well. But that one could have as well potential cash flow in on the daily. That could be as well the momentum that will bring us a little bit more higher up, right? Same thing what we had over here. The first time we went into the cash flow outflow, technically below the neutral line over here, right? And look at that. We did that second leg down. Then we start to get above or into the resistance. And that was the area that we got the inflow, right? And changed the whole perspective of market. Yeah, could be possible the same thing. Who knows? That's going to be just that in a couple days. And the next week, we're going to see exactly what we're dealing with. But overall, that's the play. That's the aim as well for it. This is the whole idea, right? We are right now above that area. That's good. That's great. We need to close anything above. We still have 2.5 hours for that. A lot can change in that perspective. Or even send this straight up into the resistance. Then that's going to be a quite damaging as well for some people if you're going to see that turning around. But yeah, all possible. We are taking out of that liquidity what we've been freaking grinding to the up to the downside or sideways a little bit. So yeah, most of it we are taking out right now. 100x has been already hit. There's one more, a little bit more above it. Good freaking stuff so far. Still fine. Still we're not gonna break anything to the downside. Be aware of that. And I guess we had some order block formed over here. So What was here before. So technically a support, but not really aiming that we hold if you're gonna get back into that yet. And there was as well of that stuff. Yeah, quite heavily to the downside as well on the liquidity. And look at that. Like this looks much more, a little bit more appealing than all of that stuff over here, right? And this is even on the resistance. So like take out of all of that stuff and then you're not gonna get even close to resistance. And you might even turn around. Like all of that down movement didn't set quite heavily. Like if you do this, squeeze them out, like, yeah, this looks quite fucking big. Yeah, I know, but not said that there are some gaps in between as well. Here. Yeah, that's gonna be still grinding up. Nothing to add to that one. And of course, if you are not sure, or if you don't know, or you are confused about some things, switch on the bands. Right now, and after the move of 24 on Monday, this is the second time we got into the core trend of liquidity after we dumped from 150k on 4 hour. This was quite a lot of the takeout. We could do that as well, and then you're gonna aim for something like make this as your support. If you get back into the resistance, not breaking that, that might send you quite heavily higher up. We start to do the upside movement without even flipping the long and short. That's still possible, right? If that's gonna be the whole freaking build up on the support right now. But yeah, be aware. This is the resistance. We're grabbing the high time frame liquidity right now. And what's the daily, by the way? Going. Yeah, nice. Exactly on the resistance as well. Awesome. 5. That's definitely gonna be a bounce back into the support or maybe lower. Who knows? Got you continuation if you start to regain stuff again. Yeah, well, those are the levels. Like simple as that. Like there is nothing else to even mentioning to add to your chart or like look at working fundamentals or like websites or whatever what people are thinking or even numbers like economic numbers. Those are the levels done. Keep it easy and simple. So yeah, that's Bitty. If you guys have any question about that, go to the yeah, you are not really consistent with your job. It makes sense to make that out of I mean, yeah, I get that as well. Like, I understand what Viking is saying about that. But the thing is, like, we didn't do that as well over here. Like, yeah, we've been testing the high of that wick literally, or even this one over here, the T, right? But then much lower. Like, if I would consider much lower, then it's gonna be 68, right? Oh, yeah, I mean, we did already like well the move of minus negative 30%. So what's another 20? Nothing. And this is the minus 30% is literally the high and the low from the range, the high time frame range. Then another 20% is just a little bit below that. Here, people should maybe panicking, not here. And they all panicked over here. We've been dumping that shit. So, please. Like, this is nothing, the another 20%. And yeah, you might settle another support of 68. That's the level that you hold because that's the first, technically the first flip that you meet when we're gonna go back. We didn't even do that over here, right? We've been touching the wick, so potentially this been the preparation of that whole move. We're gonna go back. If that, we're gonna slide lower and we're gonna do something like this, right? That's possible, or even that. Then do the bigger stuff if you're not gonna regain the highs, or at least if you're not gonna regain your 114. Yeah, that's possible. But that's only when we're gonna lose stuff, right? So when you're gonna start to lose stuff, technically already over here. Losing 84, right, to getting back into the lows. Now you need to regain that. Are we doing one of those things? No. Are we aiming to get higher? Yes. Oh, Sasha, you mentioned the forbidden word, head and shoulders. Yeah, but that's what I've been. That's what I just draw out, right? Like this. Oh, and I'm not gonna start saying that this is head and shoulders. I'm gonna start saying that this is like a dick move. Right? It looks more like a small dick than head and shoulders. Fucking hell, I shouldn't say that on the stream, but anyhow, forget about it. But yeah, we could definitely. Did we do that before? Yes, we did. Technically, right? Like if you say like this is the, it is. Are we doing quite the same? Yeah, it's extended, but it's a beginning of Wenger pardon. Yeah, oh really? Did he say that? Yeah, see, yeah, that's another way to look at it. Yeah. But yeah. So far, there's nothing else to say, guys. Like, yeah, you can be bullish. I'm happy for you guys that you are bullish, but be realistic as well. What are we doing right now? Even not locally, but on the high time frame. Are we breaking something? So far, this is only low time frame stuff, right? Grinding, not really setting up a big support. Getting back into that, like what's gonna be? Like definitely one of this or this. Then you can say like, yeah, you're gonna long the shit out of me because they have small invalidation, right? And short a little bit of this. Then see which one's gonna take off. Could be. All the liquidity that should come with the new rate cuts in US, maybe peace. Peace? Are you really thinking it's gonna be a peace? You cannot make money from peace. That's why we have a war. That's why the war exists. First thing first. So Sash, that's okay. What you are saying, like with all the respect, like yeah, if you look at that in that perspective, like yeah, you okay, that's fine. But in all of the sense, like any kind of like not really fundamentals, but news driven fucking events, most of the times, what did it bring you? Right? Like this, for example. For some people, it's been quite scary. Like, yeah, this is kind of the aftermath after that. So I'm not seriously like you are with the wrong person if you're gonna ask me if the news gonna be market driven. Like it could. It depends which market are you aiming for. If you're aiming for like a war market, so that means the AKA known as war dogs, right over here. Yeah, those are gonna be fucking exploding if any kind of like maybe not with peace, but definitely if there's gonna be a war, right? That's gonna be a market driven. Overall, like if you say like, oh, if you US or whatever states or Ukraine or whatever it's gonna make peace, is that the fucking exploding of Bitcoin? Is that the reason that Bitcoin need to go up? I don't think so. Like far away from that. So first thing, and rate cuts, like, bro, rate cuts. This is the most biggest bullshit ever. Like we've been talking about rate cuts for over a year. They should do it. They should do it. They should do it. Did they do it? No. Are they gonna do it in December? If I need to guess, definitely not. Like they've been playing, and this is the whole freaking economics manipulation. Saying something, doing differently, and then not mentioning it again for the next time, and just stretching it out as much as possible. Like liquidity is late this cycle. I mean, there is not really much money anymore, right? Coming into the market, first thing first. Like overall, you can see in um, here, right? This is as well. Like we came back from 1 trillion, 0.2 into the 800. That's quite profitable TPs market took. To look at that way, so it could. But if I'm aiming for that, no, I do not care about it. Why? Because still, so and okay, another thing, like the thing that they're gonna say on the news or in any kind of situation that you're listening to a news, or it's gonna be something like fucking rate cuts or whatever, it's just people reacting to that. It's nothing that the market will settle and it's gonna do. That's no far away from. It's just the people that stupidly reacting to that and pushing the price in that perspective of seconds up or down. That's the volatility that's coming in. Is that what the market reacts on on the news? No, never. That's the most bullshit thing ever. I'm listening first to the technically, and this maybe sounds stupid. I'm listening to the chart. What does the chart say to me? Right, the price action and the structure comes first. After that, you get all of the fucking bullshit stuff as news, fundamentals, and different stuff that people might drift the market. There is nothing else that's gonna like depends. Like okay, because Trump says like yeah, Bitcoin's gonna be in reserves, right? So why we are not somewhere in fucking over here then? Same thing, like ADA. That's been in reserves as well, I guess, right? Since when? Where was it? Here? Oh yeah, that's pretty good one. People been buying the shit out of it, right? Which one was as well? Like there was one more, Solana or something. I don't remember. Like I don't remember that shit. So why is this happening then? We had quite good news wise about crypto, right? We're still going down. So take it what it is. But I do not care about any kind of freaking news. And believe me, especially not about the rate cuts. The most funny things that I don't really care, I watch is if Powell's gonna be fucking dismissed or not, or whatever they're fighting about. That's the most best clown show ever for me. Powell and Trump. Like, what the fuck they doing for the economics? Like everything's freaking down. Like, yeah, I mean not really everything because there are some stocks and there are really companies that are really doing freaking good, right? Overall. But yeah, no, I'm definitely not looking at that one. So if we can, like, okay, so another thing, on to finish that up because you've been asking about the all-time high. Can we do an all-time high? Definitely yes. The thing is, remember, I just want to guys that you all remember this, all of this stuff. We did break the shit out of it from this price, right? That was the low, that's the high, that's the lower low. What did we do after that? And that's on the weekly, believe me. We settled a new all-time high, and that sent us all of the way over here. Can we do that again? Fuck yeah. I wish that we're gonna do that. Run up and miserably fail from that. I'm gonna be all about that. But yeah, we could definitely. And every single time, look at what we've been doing. Like this is crazy stuff because all-time high been what? Just a couple bucks above. Same thing. Couple bucks above. Same thing. Couple bucks above. We fucking failed from that. Yeah, we could. Where would one short BTC if not positioned yet? So, but easiest one from right now is this on high time frame. So weekly wise, this is the area that you gonna meet the resistance. That's the first short, right? That was as well my short from here, one of my shorts, and the shorts from the all-time high. So not on that's on the weekly, but on the daily, this, and then all-time high. Those are the levels, right? Those are the levels, and maybe a small scalp over here. 1, 2, 3, 4 shorts already. So you get something like this, even bigger, and something like this, something like this. Right? Yes, it's still up movement if you're gonna get there, but one of those ones can be collapsing one as well. Why? Because technically, I'm not even thinking or aiming right now that we're gonna get into the all-time high. Why? Because of this price action over here. That's been holding all of that stuff quite lower. People been fucking laughing at me when I was shorting this. Anyhow, that's another thing to talk about. So this is the highest resistance right now. Why? Because it's not only weekly, But this is well the daily and the rest of the time frames together increased. And monthly as well. Look at that. 1014, right? The pricing around 1014-ish area. That's the target for a bigger short, reaching that area. That's all of the high time frame are over here. That's your resistance. If you want a good short, then that should be your target. If you don't know how to do it, then use the stupid fibs, right? That's the area to look into that. If you are not positioned right now, hey, you can do it on the way up as well, right? Or if that's gonna be the case, like this is the short, then take a long, keep the long higher, and short every single resistance, right? That's the play. That's the hedge technically as well. I take the advantage of the resistance. I'm not saying that you need to short the whole way up. No, you take the long as well while you are in a long position. Meanwhile, you are shorting the resistance. That's how you're hedging yourself on the way up. Because one of those shorts can be as well the next leg down. Yeah, Sasha, like the thing is, like, for me, literally, like, I do not care about any kind of news driven things. Like, okay, I care like if the company comes up with the new project, whatever, or with new stuff that they're gonna do or merch or whatever, that kind of, but I'm not looking at that like, oh, that's gonna be the price driven. I need to long the shit out of it right now or whatever case. Not really in that perspective. No. I'm always going first to the charts and gonna say like, okay, how does it look like? Are we gonna do what they say? Like, could be, but there is shit lots of stuff above us. So fundamentals are not really the first thing that I'm aiming for. It's good to know them, yes, and understand them, but it's not something that you should trade from, because fundamentals are for really long term and years. It's not something for 4 hour price action or 1 minute or whatever. That said, the price might move just because people are jumping the gun or whatever doing the yes. But overall, care about it at all. This is the stuff that I care. If you know the whole TA structure wise and price action, now we can talk about it. Mm, 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 mm. That's all. Okay, let's have a look what we doing on the rest of them. Hype looks a little bit more better, and why? This is the reason why. It had some resistance over here. We get back, not even closing below the 31, so we didn't lose anything. We're still grinding. Like most of the coins, we doing this fucking grind stuff that I don't like. But anyhow, hype starts. It's already regaining this 4 hour structure. So right now, the only aim, what I'm aiming for, is to flip the 37. Flip that, or even come close to that one. Come back and set this as support. That's the aim. But that's gonna be a proper one, because then you're gonna fucking send it into the highs and do another back at the 51-ish 49 area. Not really keen on this price action. First thing first, we need to see if we're gonna get that. But yeah, most of the coins are gonna do this grind stuff. Like, yeah, see, right now on AVEX, and this is, oh, that's nice. Technically starting to regain the 4 hour swing, or technically coming close above that. Let's see if you're gonna close anything above it. That's nice. That's good. But now the aim is to close. Going back into it, we still have 2 hours. Guys. In 2 hours, we still can do a lot of things. Before market close, right? There is always a little bit more volatility on the market before market close, going into that area. So, especially with tomorrow as well, that freaking half day market open. Objective is a little bit more behind. That's going to be on the side retest. So, grind still higher for what? The first. This one I will not care about it because that's been tested. Only one what you care is this high right now. So, still have a little bit more stuff to do than technically that's been tested as well. Sorry, the high that you aim for. I'm gonna slide through that one right now. Tested, I didn't. Same thing, but a little bit more extended than. But yeah, good stuff overall on alts, and we start to get a little bit more volatile. That's good. Solana as well. Come back into the big stuff below us quite heavily. We lost that one, but we are still holding on a major structure over here. Those are the levels that you don't want to lose on Solana. I've been mentioning quite a long time ago. And now we are aiming for, oh shit, 143 to flip. Flip that. You might see overall of the market small pullback into the support or maybe even into this area. Hold that, and then you get back into your 170 area. Finally, stuff. I am overall. I'm a bit more bullish on Solana. I don't know. I'm still liking it. I'm still gonna hold it. Still gonna trade it till next year, and I want to see how they're gonna behave because Solana didn't reach as high with this whole move, so that was quite worrying. Right now, was as well the stupid fib, quite perfect to the T, and that was the grind down, right? So let's see how we're gonna flip that area. Because flipping that high, then you might do some damage on that. But overall, we still have some things to do, and this is as well same chart as Bitcoin, quite heavily pushed to the downside, grinding it with all of the stuff that we need to test, regain, flip, and all of the. Not gonna be easy, that's for sure. But still, it's not unlikely, right? So yeah, there was something else that someone said in the beginning. Trading, surf. That was sec, right? That's that one. Awesome. Didn't even look at that one for days. Perfect. To the T. Fail of the highs on the daily one. That's a quite heavy one as well. Breaking the new low that you settled, so that's been broken. That's as well. Like look at that underside retest, fucking easy as it gets. Price action, and now we are holding back on the lows. That's gonna be on 4-hour quite easy. That's the high we've been testing. Coming back into that, awesome. Now, next step, what you need to do, you need to regain your high of that and the low of regaining that stuff. We're gonna send you back into the 612. But technically, been doing some low structure stuff. So you're not gonna break this. This is your low that you can break, right? If you don't want this to go lower. If so, next stuff, if you're gonna get back, major level to watch out for is this 640. That underside retest could send you lower. You're not gonna regain because overall, not really keen on this price because it's just a mid range structure that you build up. You always aim for the low and the high. So that's the regain that you need to have. Not really care about that, and that's the underside that you're gonna come back into that, right? That's the first thing. So let's see. Be interesting, definitely. But yeah, it's still sideways technically. So you're not gonna regain or fail. So yeah. Good, good, good. I think it's still fuck. Can reach the underside retest. Now failing. So holding on. Hang on. That's been failing, failing, failing. Jesus. Those. You don't want to break this. Break that. Test it, test it, test it. Hold, test it, test it. Fucking hell, you're gonna get back into the lows. Oh, bro. Awesome. So yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Still squeezing. Right? Overall, if you're gonna do something like this, that might send you. Is there any liquidity on that? See? Nice flip. Fail. What the fuck happens over here? That was some shenanigans, I guess, on the liquidity side from them. And this is weird. Or is the trading view? The heck is that? Bands are the freaking awesome. Oh, if you start trading only bands, boy, it's gonna make such a much. When you say test, is that the wick to wick? Yes. Wick to wick, like sorry, yes, I said a little bit too quick. The level, right? It's not okay. Let's say first thing first, make it hurt your brain. This is what you care. This is only what you care. Wicks are here only to see how high the price got, or maybe some touch and then retrace from it, and that's all. But overall, what you care is this. This is the underside retest of the low time frame structure that you fail from, right? Going back into that, right? You touch it, and the body goes away and leaves a wick. So yeah, it's gonna be a wick to the body. Sometimes, really sometimes, you have wick to wick, yes, right? But you always consider the body is the resistance. Same thing, like I've been mentioning this Bitcoin. Uh, this high of the wick, right? This high of the wick to this wick. Thing is, the body came to that first, and it retraced, leaving the wick. So technically, it's first body was gonna touch the level, right, or the wick, the whole structure, and then it's leaving the wick behind. So it's always gonna be a wick overall if that start to reverse, or in which case you're gonna start to go opposite way. A test is a touch of that level, and then see the reaction from it. Not to see the wick or whatever. It's the reaction from the body. That's the test. The test means you're gonna go with the whole candle into that, see if there is a reaction from it. What kind of reaction you want? This or this. This is the reaction from. And one of those things gonna eventually leave or whole body close above it, right? Or if you start to retrace, leaves a wick behind. That's the test. The name it says, like, you need to test it, right? What do? You touch it, or you taste it, whatever, or you aim for it. You see if there is like a lot of money, bits, orders placed into it. That's the test. If so, you're gonna see a reaction from it, and that's what you expect. Always. Same thing over this level, right here. What did you get? That was a reaction from it, right? This whole move to the downside pushed you because you've been on the side retesting that level, right? It was grinding to the downside, so it wasn't like a dump or something like we did, right? But we still hold on this. So technically, it was just test, going back into the lows, setting down, and now we're standing or standing, pushing it higher. That's always something to consider. Um, yeah, I think that's all on alts. Well, really. Oh, I said I'm gonna do a short one. Cool. I guess that's the short one. And if you still not really like, no matter which one you take, if you are not sure where you should, like, this is it, right? This is the area. Buy, settle new low, still aiming for the resistance. Stepwise, guys. First thing first, if you don't understand stepwise moves, like, there is no even point to aim for fucking all-time high or even 200k or whatever price people are thinking. If you do that, you buy spot and you come back in a year or two or four, or 2 cycles, and see how high it gets. But leverage wise, it's always stepwise. You cannot trade leverage, buy anything randomly and say like, yeah, now we're gonna send to all-time high. No, that's not gonna happen. Definitely not on Bitcoin. Like alts, that's fucking manipulation. Like it can be manipulated in that way that they can do that, but not really on Bitcoin in that perspective. So yeah, always stepwise. What's the stepwise position right now? Easiest it gets. Right, this is the high that we need to get. Come back for any kind of support area over here or here, and now you start to do what? Freaking change, right? Now you get back into this area. That's the block. That's the range. What you're gonna get? Definitely some reaction from it as well, right? And to be honest with you, like the whole move to the downside, like that was nothing. That was walk in the park. Like guys, like yeah, we had a nice dump over here. Cool. Like me shorting this shit sideways. Done. Lose the level. Come back. Short. On the side retest. Bang. Grind up. On the side retest. Like guys, this is quite awesome PA. Like there is not much of a dump to talk about. Like dumping something like this. This is a dump we did in one go. This is just grinding to the downside. So obviously you're gonna grind fucking to the upside as well, right? Overall, nice 30% of pullback, 56. The lows. Back in the range still. Yeah. High time frame. So yeah. Nothing to worry. And you shouldn't be. Like there is not really something to worry as well. Like position your right and you're gonna make money. Like, yeah, of course I understand people have spot bags. But then you leverage trade against the spot bags if something goes sideways. Right? Like that's the whole idea that we have shorts as well. And yeah, I hear it's like, I don't want to short. Like if you don't want to short, then yeah, you're gonna sit on your spot bags and you're gonna wait if you don't like to short. Like that's why we have it. Like that's the reason as well. Go against your shorts, if any. Like fucking I love shorting. Like shorting is the easiest way to make money. Like longing is starts to get boring eventually. Shorting is like, I don't know, it's different kind of feeling that you short the shit out of it on the bags or whatever. Nice. Oh, that's a quite nice DCA. Really good stuff. Break out the squeeze. Let's have a look on into the stuff. Get that. It. Nice, nice. 1 hour broke the structure. Cool. Coming back. Another one. Right, and the bigger one. To the this stuff. Oh, it's a waiting. And right now, like with the almost 3 days of weekends, like that's it. Not a waiting game. If you're not positioning anymore, then wait. It'd be nice if you're gonna flip. So watch out for the band. The band's gonna do something like this, and you start to find up, hold that. That would be nice for the biggest. Straight above the bands for. But yeah, overall, like if you think like you got a nice run to the downside and this is the low, then yeah, those are the area to buy. So the thing is, I've been saying that as well. Like, are we gonna get lower? Like, possibly, maybe, yes. But you need to understand that we are on the low of the whole freaking price that we've been. Like there's some more as well on the different exchanges by the border. But the thing is, like, if you don't buy anything on the spot right now, you're gonna missing out, and then you're gonna start to buy where, freaking here, right? People gonna attempt to do the here because you're gonna see some strength. But overall, oh wait, gonna do that and then do that again. Gonna cry because we're going lower. If you want to invest or in something, then right now it could be a nice buy. Avex, I've been buying shit lots of objectives as well. Hype. I'm buying over here as well, but I don't know. I have a feeling on hype. This whole from the first high that we got in all-time high after breaking all that stuff, I don't know. That price action feels different. I think they changed on the market maker. But overall, still, this is great stuff to buy. Right, hype around $20. Like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm taking it. If you start to break that, by the way, that low, right, 29. I'm not saying that, not really holding that anymore. You're gonna get back below 20. You're saying, yeah, looks good so far. It always good looks good at the resistance, right? Coach, that's been a while. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. Overall, yeah, you broke the weekly stuff. Right now, what you need to get back at is technically a 1 of 15. Got you on the side retest. That's fine. That was all the stuff over here. You're still grinding higher up. Flip that. Or if you're not going to hold that, I will say use this area for a small, maybe a short, and then watch for any hold of the low. I would say this could be a strong support, and by the look of it, that was a quite nice grind. You don't want to get below that stuff because while you are failing on the weekly right now, and closing weekly quite low uh, on it, you do want to lose the 1.13 because that's been tested. Losing that, bro, you're gonna get back at freaking half of 0.09. So, but yeah, overall, this is your flip. You need to flip that for any continuation. Be aware, wicking into this, that's the underside read. So, because this does quite bigger or a little bit more volatile moves, right? We could see something like this and then popping it. Yeah, I will look for something like that. Hey, either way, this is a good spot back. Oh, but my thoughts on it, I think that's been clear for ages already. Know that. So I've been quite vocal about that one in August. So that was settled. And the cash flow, what I used on that one, flip that. Since then, we've been doing 1x. Fortunate, I got my trend over here. Yeah, because that was the underside retest. But yeah, still continues. And what you're doing right now on the weekly, like high, low, and fortunately, set a new shitty part. Yes, on the daily you did. So right now, holding on. Oh shit, you broke. Oof, that thing broke. That's the daily low. You need to regain your stuff right now. Seriously, for 419, you need to regain for any higher position. If not, right, you're gonna do another leg down. This is not gonna might hold you. You're gonna go back into the lows. Could be. See you, Sash. Have a good one. Hope it was good information for you. Up and tested, so you barely holding on that one. Right now, you're aiming for the highs, right? Daily wise, you kind of get a high on that one, but wick wise, there is still quite heavily to the upside, so not much liquidity. You got all of that stuff. Same to the downside, most of it. Going back into that area, you're gonna grind it, right? Something like this, or even do one more. Make sure that everyone is short the shit out of it, and then you're gonna grab it. Still, this is, since I've been mentioning from freaking August, people didn't care about the cash flow then. It's still doing freaking up movements. So yeah, quite heavily. Look at that. You came back into the bands. There's not much above you. Like we still could do that, right? But fucking hell. That one has some mental. Not really trusting as well. Like I don't like privacy coins. It's ironically because they are privacy coins and they are like the most fucking scammy price action ever. So ironically, no, I don't like them. I used to like I've been saying, couple trades over here, like did get the move and everything, but overall, don't bother. But yeah, this is still potential going higher. This you flip, and then you're still going aiming for definitely for 500 because it tend to fucking spike through that, right? Get back into the lower liquidity. So yeah, you are in any positions, then that's good. But that's you take profit and flip that, you're gonna go higher up. Dumpy to you, like this is still in a continuation. Like so, okay. The thing is, like we've been doing that grind stuff, and that was the liquidation of that one. So I'm not really like have shorting vibes of that one. Not really keen on it because that those wicks like you cannot predict that. I rather to buy low something than short that. Still, this is technically still continuation. Like we didn't break anything on high time frame, not even close. That was just a wick, right? Could fill that wick. That's sure, right? Like yeah, you could do that and then aim higher up. 4 hour even like that was low, high. You regain it. Right now, didn't even come close to the previous low to retest the support of 351. Now you are still aiming for that high. Doing that, yeah. So yeah, this is still technically uptrending, right? With yeah, some small or bigger moves to the downside, but that's like I've been saying on a high time frame, you didn't break shit after that whole move over here. This was the whole break of the low that you settled and hold of the prior support. Since then, it didn't come close. Start again. Yeah, well, I'm 1 hour deep into the fucking stream. Orca. Yeah, sure, I will. Happy to do that. Oh boy. You can rewatch it later on the PD setup. And now look at that on 4 hours as well. You're flipping the whole band. Right? You're holding on that one. You get back from it. You get quite heavily into that, and you're holding on it. So I'm not even sure you're gonna get back into that if there is not something happening. So still, potentially, this is going and going. But yeah, I will need to wrap it up just because I have a meeting going on in a second. Mentioning this as well, still nice up movement, 1 hour close above. So yeah, you have a higher close, still continuation, still grind, and we've been doing all of that as well, right? Similar stuff. Oh fuck! Look at that price action level. Like that is gonna be quite easy. Like it is similar as fuck, right? All of that grind, all of that price action, and push it higher. Yeah, get into resistance and then get back into support. Good stuff. Still, we need to do some work to break. Nothing major change yet. Be aware of that. And as well, those 3 days weekend, take care of that. Don't stay too long on the charts, guys. Go spend times with family. Thanksgiving. I don't know for what they are thankful over there, but it's what it is. And yeah, keep it safe. Right away. And next week, see you again on Sunday. I'm gonna do the Sunday stream. And oh yeah, that's the thing as well. Like I still need to talk about that Viking and Zeus about it because they want Viking wanted to cover the streams from the first, second, third, and fourth, I guess, or from the second. I don't know. So next week, Zeus and me do the market update, or if anyone else. So yeah, that's gonna be as well happening next week. So busy days. And take care. Enjoy the Thanksgiving and spending time with family right now, especially now with the long weekend, guys. Take that advantage of it, and I will see you next Sunday. So yeah, have a good one. See ya. Bye bye.